Studio with Johnny Melnick. Here we find and spotlight original music and songwriters to discuss all things music, from the songwriting process to music theory, music publishing, and more. Tune in for both live performances and interviews from local artists. All right. Welcome back to Song Studio, episode number 2. And they said it would never last. Well, here we are discussing songs, music theory, music publishing, and speaking with our special guest this afternoon, Jamie King Colton. You're going to meet him in a few seconds. I just want to do a couple of things on the piano, and ask you all a question. Where do songs come from? What's the inspiration? What happens? Is it, do you get the lyrics first? Do the lyrics come first? Does the music come first? The answer to that is every which way possible. You could hear a bird tweeting in your backyard. Play a couple of notes and all of a sudden it makes sense. Paul Simon used to sit and just play for hours till he came across something. A little motif. Let's see what's a motif. A motif is the smallest musical phrase possible. Motif. Let's see. Could be. Let me think of one. I'm trying to think of one. Could be a feel. Next thing you know, the lyrics are flying out. Constructing a song is a very personal thing. It goes many, many different ways. Anyway, right here in the Song Studio, Brooklyn Cafe TV, we're going to explore all of that in weeks to come. And do we have the number to the station we can call? They can call in, ask questions. 888-994. 4995. I'm anxious to hear what you have to say, questions you have, because we're looking to inspire young and songwriters of all ages to amplify their work and have a place to go with it. It's not a hopeless situation where you write a song on the piano and just say, well, nothing's going to come of it. Well, that's not true. There are plenty of ways to do it, and we want to hear them. So, I welcome you all, and we are going to go over here and talk with Jamie King Colton, a friend of mine, lives right here in Fort Lauderdale, he's got a history of music that is astounding, and I hope you're going to enjoy this. So, without further ado, let me go over there.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Do you want the opportunity to have a TV show or podcast? Now, at Amp Media Productions, you can host your very own visual broadcast anywhere around the world. With our talented group of creators, we will provide you with show elements, board operations, and any on-screen visuals you'd like to showcase. All you must do is log onto your computer and communicate with your viewers. Contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422 or email hello@amp2.tv to start your own show today.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
Welcome back to the Song Studio with Johnny Melnick. For more information, go to johnnymel.bandcamp.com or email johnnymel@comcast.net.
All right. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm excited. Jamie King Colton is with us today. Jamie is a friend of mine for many, many years, a musician, plays, he'll tell you how many instruments he plays. And I'm not just saying plays instruments, he plays the instruments. Drums, guitar, saxophone, keyboards, piano, you name it, he does it. So Jamie, just going to say hello, man, and welcome to the show, the Song Studio.
Hey, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
How did I rope you into this, huh?
This is awesome. No, it's
like you don't have enough to do. He's a very busy man.
this is a priority. This is really cool.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate you helping us out here.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, and you're actually the second person I've had on the show.
Awesome.
Last week we had Paul Hoyle. Do you know Paul? Paul's got a studio in North Miami. He's Grammy winner, producer, engineer.
Cool.
He was supposed to tap in today. And just have a 5-minute catch-up thing, but he's got a family situation, so he's going to be unable to join us. But I'll get with you. I know your musical life goes back a long, long way.
1800s.
In the 1800s, right after you played at Lincoln's in Northgrove, didn't you?
Yeah,
no.
Just the War of 1812.
You tell me, where did it start, Jamie?
Oh man, where did it start? Oh my God. I think in the womb, but I'm not positive. I was banging on my poor mother's organs. I was an organ player when I was in the womb. No, I started up really young. My mother was a violinist. My grandfather was a violinist. They're both gypsies. They're from Romania, from Transylvania, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that. I'm a Transylvanian gypsy.
I didn't. I'm here all ears, man. I'm getting.
I
all
mean,
new
it's
from
very strange. Like Elio Nastasia and Nadia Comaneci, they were very, very similar. And even though I'm a musician, I do train like an athlete. That's what I do. More so than even playing. But going back
That's
to
an interesting concept.
it is.
And I'm going to ask you if we could just stop. We're not going to have enough time to get through all of this. So I can feel it already. But I want to ask you because I sports and music were the two things I did growing up. And the training process. What is the advantage of the training? And so you're talking physical training, right?
Yeah. I'm in the gym at least 4 days a week.
4 days a week.
At least. I was a vegetarian 25 years. The better the shape the body's in and the mind, the higher the creativity level. I also do.
Are you hearing this? You hearing this, folks? Okay. This is outside the music realm, but we're starting to learn that all things are connected.
Right. I hate to say this, but a lot of musicians think that the liquid courage is the way to go, and the drug enhancing mentality is beneficial, but it's not. You know, been there, done that.
Yeah, I'm shocked by that too.
But you know, it's and I get off on feeling high in a natural, normal way. I mean, when the body's functioning at its prime, it's like it opens up doors. It just opens up a whole new creativity level. You tap into a source that's real instead of false.
Artificial, it's going to leave you. It's going to leave you in a few
Right.
hours.
Yeah, and you don't
Whatever
get
it
that
is.
depression, the downward spiral with the alcohol, because that's a depressant. And you always, the next day or whatever. I mean, they say some artists, the best way to be is a depressed kind of artist as a writer and stuff. And I have been there, and I do agree with that to a certain degree. But when you experience that and you come back to the enhanced kind of mentality, you can still go back and relate to that and use that in a different way. It's complex, it's abstract, but
Well said. I also feel in my own living and situation that athletics, it's all about rhythm. The way I look at music, it's a rhythmic thing as well as melodic, and the combination is athletic endeavors. They tune your body to be fluid, rhythmic, and in tune. So it also it contributes to all
plus
of
the
that.
coordination, you know, your limbs
Exactly.
become more coordinated. I'm a drummer, and I always said, you know, I've been playing all my life.
Oh,
I
without a doubt.
started out as a saxophonist, taking lessons when I was, I think, 9 years old. That's when I started saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
I studied for 9 years with the best teachers in New York. And I always thought, oh, saxophone's really hard, until I really, the next year when I started taking lessons on sax, I actually got a drum set at 10, and I started playing drums. And now, after analyzing all the instruments and everything, I think playing drums, doing 4 independent things, and singing, that's 5. You have your mind doing 5 different things at once, is incomparable. I mean, there's no explanation. I mean, you have to divide your mind into 5 different parts, and they're all totally different.
They're all totally different. And, well, you know, we're talking to musicians out there who are, I believe, at different levels. We've been doing this, you and I both have been doing this for 50 years,
All our life,
many
yeah.
decades of banging around in clubs and all kinds of, you're on concerts around the world.
I
So
did
we'll get to
everywhere.
that,
Yeah.
we'll get to that
Yeah.
later, which is the different dynamics
Yeah.
of different things. But even playing, I play piano and sing, you do it, when the real music comes out, you're not even conscious of all the movement. And when you're playing drums and singing, it becomes a flow that creates the real music when you become unaware of not even thinking of it, you're just doing it.
Yet there's an autopilot
years.
involved.
Takes years and years of work, folks.
And the other thing is the only instrument of all instruments where you can't have a second loss of time or mentality is with drums. You can't be off for a second because it throws everything off.
Right.
You have
It's
to
called
be
a train wreck in the music business.
You have to be on a constant level that keeps you going at a certain. That's what, for me, it was the most challenging thing. That's why for the last 3 years I played in my band and I play drums, and it's like, it's.
What's the name of the band?
The Chrome Skulls.
The Chrome
King
Skulls.
Colton and the Chrome Skulls.
You can find them around town, folks. You can, look around in the.
Yeah, we're the
papers
house.
and things.
We're the house band at Blue Jean Blues every first Friday of every month. And,
Blue Jean Blues, Fort Lauderdale, 33rd Street.
Yeah.
There's a plug for the girls.
Yeah. And Denise, I love that one.
Yeah. Good.
Great pizza and great wings, by the way,
Yeah,
plus
yeah.
the great music.
That's a great spot. Just a great spot.
But the whole concept of the band, I mean, I can go into a million different subjects here, but concept of the band is unique because I think we're the only group of our type. We're a trio, a power trio of sorts, but we do what I call blues-infused rock jam, because we take a song and we make it our own. We go into jams and we feature the musicians, their individual musicianship, instead of portraying a jukebox from one song to another. So
Amen, baby. Amen.
it's really, for the artist or for somebody who really appreciates artistry as far as a musician goes, it's like the ultimate, because you get to see these guys on fire, and we and they, all three of us sing, so it's pretty.
You
cool.
don't get to see a lot of that nowadays, and I'm a big fan of that. Taking music and expanding. Here's your song, and here's the performance.
Right.
Just the
song should be the blueprint,
infused
not the total.
with life and energy,
Yeah.
and that it's not a copy of a song. Yeah. But I don't want to get too far away from the songwriting, because the songwriting is so necessary. So necessary to have a strong song to begin with, and that's what jazz musicians have been doing forever. I mean, if you look at a jazz chart, it's a melody of maybe, well, you got 16 or 8 bars repeated, a bridge back to the head, and what they do with it is make it.
They elaborate on that main theme. Yeah.
But the melody of the song still is the focus, and it always comes back to home. So it's I do love that. That is a live concept that is so important, and I think sometimes so missing in when you go out to hear the tribute bands copy everything note for note. And God bless them, man. I'm glad musicians are working and people are going out and enjoying the music, but there's kind of a line drawn between bands like yours, the Chrome Skulls, and the Fleetwood Mac
tribute bands. Yeah, it's like, it reminds me of a copy machine.
Right.
You can put a piece of paper in a copy machine and make it come out looking exactly like the original. But so what? I mean, there's nothing against that. There's a quality that you're able to do that's great. But this is more like you were saying, but it's more like a jazz interpretation of taking rock songs, blues and rock, and then turning it into improvisational, where the actual artist is speaking his own language through that. It's like, it's just an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's not trying to remember the parts.
Yeah.
A little different than trying to remember the parts. So that's great. So Jamie, let's get back. So you started a saxophone in New York.
Yeah, I go back to the roots. I started in New York. I studied with great teachers. In fact, one of my teachers was was Don Red Menza, who was the leader of Buddy Rich Band, the saxophonist, and he played with Maynard Ferguson. He's one of the greatest saxophonists ever. And I studied with him for a while, and he put me into categories that no other teacher was ever teaching, something called the overtone series, which is like another abstract concept. It goes way beyond the normal octave ranges of the saxophone into the altissimo range, which is way up there, and he was teaching me how to do that with lipping and pressure and embouchure control. I mean, very advanced. And I studied with one of the saxophonists from the Cleveland Conservatory, and that was pretty amazing. And then my teacher was the teacher, the originally guy I started with, John Sodola, it taught some of the greatest saxophone players in the country. As a matter of fact, this is ironic, but in my band in high school, the guy that sat next to me that played alto, his name was Joe Ford. That's McCoy Tyner's saxophone player. Him and I played saxes in the band together. And the drummer, was Gary Malaber, was my first drummer in my first band when I was 12 years old, making a living at 12. And he went on to play he did 23 years with Steve Miller, did 3 albums with Springsteen. He played with Van Morrison and Moondance. He played with Frampton, and he played with everybody. He's one of the hottest studio drummers in LA.
So, one thing at one point I want to make, you're a songwriter. You might be proficient on your instrument. You might not be. It's not really required to be a proficient on an instrument as a songwriter, because you have an idea for melody. But learning how to capture it and learn your trade, learn how to read music, learn how to write music, is something that if you don't follow that, you're going to regret it up the road, because you're going to have to pay somebody to do it for you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just like in real life, you want to keep your expenses to a minimum and do as much of the hard work yourself. So continue, Jamie. You're playing with all these great musicians, just brushing up against kids who are going to grow up to be real people, real musicians in real musical situations.
Yeah, thank God that I was serious from the beginning. Right from the start, I was really serious about what I wanted to do. And I mean, I studied really hard. I was playing things that were so difficult on the saxophone. A lot of classical pieces, a lot of poggiaturas, and these incredible segments of 16th notes in these gigantic, like 12 note sections, and at a speed, top speed, so I could read anything, and it was pretty cool. I mean, that opened the door to a lot of other things. And I was doing that, but then I was going out and playing, like keyboards with bands, and and doing other things as diversion. I still have my serious side, but
I grew up playing the accordion.
Wow.
I was playing the accordion in bands while I was studying classical piano.
Yeah, that's
so. There you go.
Yeah, no.
Whatever road you take, it's still a road.
Yeah, it's whatever it takes to get there. There's many roads.
Yeah.
But I felt blessed because I had good teachers, and ironically enough, one of the sax teachers that I studied with for a number of years became the band director at my high school. So I went from studying with him as a kid into high school with him as the band director, and then from that point he became the principal of the whole school. And he was a great rock sax player. His name was Sam Skamaka, and he had a rock group, and they had some records out, and he was just a ball of fire. And
you know what, Jamie, Josh, do you have anything? One of the Jamie's musical things we could put up?
Enough. We're going to go to commercial.
Oh, after commercial? Okay.
Cool.
You let me know how we're doing on time. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So now you kind of out of high school. When did you start? When did you step out of the zone and start to play with musicians you were meeting for the first time and hanging your shingle
first band
and saying, I'm Jamie Colton, I play saxophone, let me sit in, let me go.
Well, I didn't. I knew some people in the neighborhood, and we got together, like I said, that first drummer from Steve Miller, and we had an accordion player, and myself on sax.
God bless the accordion.
Yeah, we had a trio. We started out and we started doing gigs, and we got paid for it. And then later on, we had a guitar player, and we were still going. We went for, the band lasted, they were called the Starlights, and we At 12 years
There
old.
you
like,
go, man. It's
you
perfect.
know,
I started when I was 14, eighth grade dance.
It was great.
Never looked back.
By the time I was in 14, I was playing in a rock band. It was really cool.
No kidding. We
I
knew
mean,
every
it was-
Beatles song and all.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
good
it was
grief,
a,
man.
It was a blast. It was-
Ready to go? Ready to take a break? We're going to come right back, folks. Jamie King Colton. Glad to have him here.
Said we do a song for old time's sake.
Let's do it.
There's some moves with a certain sureness that you know that she's confident. She doesn't need a weak man. It's a message that she sent. How do I get near you? When will the time be right? Am I the kind of man you dream of? When you dream it late at night, I got to find the answer. Standing in a mall, stop questioning my sanity. There's open up the door. You're making me crazy. You're driving me mad. You're the only woman I wish I ever had. You're making me crazy. You're driving me mad. Got to make her my woman. 'Cause I need you so bad. She needs you to believe that she likes to be alone. It's all just part of an act. She wants a family and a home. How can I convince you? I can give you all you need. I'll always be there for you. Between the lines is where you can be. All is fair in love, you want to say. All I want is to be by your side. I want you to be on mine. 'Cause my love, I just can't hide. You're making me crazy. You're driving me mad. You're the only woman I wish I ever had. You're making me crazy. You're driving me mad. Got to make you my woman. 'Cause I need you so bad. Come on. You're making me crazy. You're driving me mad. You're the only woman I wish I ever had. You're making me crazy. You're driving me mad. Got to make you my woman. 'Cause I need you so.
Now, wait a minute, Jamie. That's not a saxophone.
It's not?
That's awesome,
It's a drum
man.
set. What do
That's
I know?
awesome. He's playing a double neck guitar. That's fantastic, man. That's some swinging stuff. Did you write that song?
Not only do I write, I have 7 albums.
Here we
out
go. Now we're getting into the
There,
song
now
studio,
you
ladies
opened
and
the
gentlemen.
door, so I'm
And that's
gonna
why
jump in.
I'm gonna kick it open. Let's go. So I'm talking about your songwriting and
I'm going to get into that too because it's very interesting, the concept. But I have 7 albums out released globally. I have about 3 or 4 more already recorded that haven't released yet. I write everything. I play every instrument on the CDs. And that video, believe it or not, those guys are just lip syncing to the music. I played all the instruments on it.
And that was done at the Blue Martini in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
That's right.
In fact, the guys in that band, that was my band. That was the drummer from, his dad was Wilbur Harrison that made the song Kansas City.
Wow.
The keyboard player was with Buddy Miles for 20 years, and the bass player was from the B.B. King All-Stars.
Yeah, man.
That was my band.
You got quite a circle of friends there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So tell me about the songwriting. So you're working with Pro Tools?
No, I never touched Pro Tools.
Okay.
I have a standalone. I use a TEC. It's like a built-in studio, a Tascam.
Okay.
Tascam studio. It has everything basically built in. I used to use an Akai hard disk recorders. I had 2 of those, an 8 and a 4, and they're very complicated. You need a manual to study the manual to study how to run these things.
Right.
But
still use it? That's your chosen.
What's that?
Software to use.
It's not even. It's an independent.
Hi, Dawn. Thank you so much.
It's an independent system, which is I pretty much have it covered.
Got it down.
It still has a lot of functions that I don't even apply. I do the ones that I really need. I mean, it cuts CDs. It does everything. It has mastering built in.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, and the quality I get is really incredible. And the quality comes from having the ear and knowing how to manipulate things. So
I
that
agree.
You can
I
draw
agree.
it out
Analog versus digital.
Yeah.
There lies the secret.
Yeah.
There's such a history because we come from times when hit records, hit songs. Now most of the music goes to movie soundtracks and through music supervisors.
Done them too. I've done whole movies.
All of that, yeah.
Yep.
So, but writing the 3-minute song, I don't even know if it's necessary anymore. I think it should be, but it was a lot of fun in our days growing up with the music we had around us. The Motown connection. What a segue.
Well, that's
perfect.
You stepped right in it, John. That was my first thing. We're out of high school. I was playing in a group in Buffalo. That's where I'm from, actually, born. And I get a phone call while I was a music teacher. I was teaching, I had 80 students a week, which is, if you know how many, that's half-hour lessons, but I was booked every single day.
That's a lot of paradiddles, folks.
Oh, my God. And I get a phone call one day while I'm teaching. I was on a break, and they said, "We got your name. We understand that you play bass." And I really wasn't a bass player at the time. I could fool around with it. I was teaching a lot of guitar students. I said, "Oh yeah, yeah." And they said, "Well, we're a group we're with Motown. We're in Detroit. We have the #9 record right now on the charts. And would you be interested in joining the group? We're touring all over the country." I'm like, my bags are already packed pretty much, and they. Within 2 weeks, I was with the manager that came pick me up. I put all my stuff in the trunk, and that was it. And I did 2 years. I did the whole continent.
What was the name of the group?
Back then, it was called Lynn Terry and the LaSalles, and it was originally called Kathy Lynn and the Playboys. And the name
the LaSalles. That's a car.
Yeah.
Detroit. Detroit cars.
And then our recording name that we put the records under was under the Buena Vistas. Okay. So not only did we have that #9, we had a bunch of other chart hits, but the biggest one we ever had was called Here Come the Judge. And that was me doing that, and that was with the Buena Vistas.
Was that from the Flip Wilson show?
Yeah, we took that.
That was a time of Flip Wilson on TV.
We hit #1 in every country in the world.
Wow, man. It's
the first time they ever did lapel pins, bumper stickers, and they named the Pontiac GTO Judge, the orange one with the spoiler, and 442 after the song. They had the decal on the side, the Judge.
That would be considered a bit of a novelty song nowadays?
Yeah, actually, it was basically the first rap song that I've ever heard in my life. Yep.
Damn.
So all they had was talking, no singing.
Yeah.
You're going to judge, you're going to judge, all in the courtroom, you're going to... That's... And it was the Motown band playing behind us. It was all,
man.
all the guys. One of my good friends
Jameson.
was Bob Babbitt, the bass player with Motown, and James Jamerson, and the piano player was Ivory Joe Hunter. So they played on all our records. We just hired the band and said, okay, this is what we're going to cut, and boom, they did it.
Wow.
So that was exciting.
It's an amazing connection from a... it's an amazing spot to be for
To go from
guy like
a
yourself.
music teacher in Buffalo to
Bang to
playing with
Motown.
a group with the top records, and it's been like that all my life. It's just hard to explain.
We've got so many things. Anything? Let's see. So, how much? Now I know you worked with Dion. You've been with Dion DiNucci for
I started with him in 1990.
the longest time.
And before-
1990. So, wow.
Yeah, I did. I started in
Tell me
1990.
why
The Wanderer,
heart
Abraham
skips a
Martin, and
beat
John.
every time that in here.
Running
My
around
favorite song growing up.
Really?
It was a Black Label, Dion and the Belmonts. Dion and the
very smart.
Belmonts, the boys from the Bronx, man. So Dion, if you're out there, I'm a big fan. I still play your songs on my gigs.
He's
Still
the
get
greatest.
requests from, so it's a pleasure.
I think he's the
vicariously hang
greatest,
out with
greatest
you
artist.
through Jamie.
Yep, he's one of the greatest artists of all time.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, socially conscious. Abraham Martin and John after
Yep,
Bobby Kennedy got assassinated.
yep,
All kinds of things, man. Thank you. Thank you for all your work.
absolutely. And they did a lot of Christian
And
albums.
thank you for keeping my friend busy, too.
Yeah. I was a saxophone player. I played keyboards and I played all the percussion, congas and timbales and vocals. So he kept me busy. But we did all the United States, Canada. We did Athens, Greece for one of the biggest concerts in the world. It was 10 of the top groups from everywhere. $300 a ticket. Completely sold out on New Year's Eve. And they had, everybody was on it, from Neil Sedaka to Mamas and Papas, all those groups.
Yeah.
And
All stemming from songwriting. All stemming from core songwriting. Solid songwriting and lyrics that capture the imagination. So, it's like that's where it all starts, folks, and that's what we want to emphasize here. The gun doesn't go off. The songs are the bullets for the gun, and the gun doesn't go off without the bullets. So there you
Speaking
go.
of even retracting and moving back a little bit before, I mean, I've had I don't even know where to start because I'm jumping from time period to time period. But I came to Florida in 1979, direct from college, and I was in college. I was playing in a jazz octet, and we toured the country. We played the jazz conventions. I won 2 of the biggest awards in the country for outstanding soloist on alto and bari. I had a monster jazz group. And that was judged by Clark Terry and Alan Dawson and Dr. David Baker and all the top professors from all the universities, and we came in 4th in the country. So I went from that, and then I got a deal to come down and do an album in Florida, and I got here, and we put together a $100,000 project, and I hired Billy Joe's band. I got his drummer, Liberty, and Doug, his bass player.
I know all those guys.
They backed me up, and I produced the whole album, all my compositions, and I had guys from Maynard Ferguson, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Bobby Economo on drums, John Goodwin on bass, who was
You need $100,000 to
Jocko's
get those guys, but nevertheless,
the best.
It makes quite the difference.
So we did a heck of a project, and then I played with a lot of groups down here, and then from that, I actually joined in 1980. I joined a band signed to CBS, and they were the #1 band in South Florida. That was Mark and Clark, the dueling pianists, and they
Mark and Clark, Kenny Martell. Kenny Martell's a very good friend of mine. He was playing drums for those guys in the clubs. Beethoven. We got a break. We got a break for. We got to take a moment for a couple of messages coming your way. Thanks for joining, Jamie King Colton, right here on the Song Studio.
Johnny Melnick right here.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Do you want the opportunity to have a TV show or podcast? Now, at Amp Media Productions, you can host your very own visual broadcast anywhere around the world. With our talented group of creators, we will provide you with show elements, board operations, and any on-screen visuals you'd like to showcase. All you must do is log onto your computer and communicate with your viewers. Contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422 or email hello@amp2.tv to start your own show today.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
Good, man. There was the saxophone you were telling us about, man. That's hot. That was hot stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But the keyboard player was with Buddy Miles. You know, it's the same guys, but they're just top-notch guys. But there's so many things I want to cover. I know we're in a time frame.
No, go ahead, man. You have some things to say. I'll be glad to. We'll all be glad to listen to it.
Okay, this is I brought an award. This is an award I got. If you can see it, but
sold out UK tour.
Yeah, I did 39 shows in 25 or 26 cities across the UK, England, Scotland, and Wales, including and they were all completely sold out, including 2 sold-out shows at the London Palladium, which is like the ultimate of where you can perform. And it was with Bobby V, who was voted #1 vocalist in England. Chris Montez, who the Beatles opened for originally.
Montez.
The Beatles opened for him.
The More I See You.
Yep, Call Me. Yep. Johnny Preston, he did Running Bear. Brian Hyland, who...
Got to Say Goodbye for the Summer.
Yep, Sealed with a Kiss.
Sealed with a Kiss, yeah.
And I was musical director for 3 years and toured all over, everywhere with Little Eva. And she was...
Locomotion.
She was a Grammy winner, and her... Carole King, she was Carole King's maid, and Carole got her started and wrote that song for her. So
amazing.
She was my girl. She was the best, and so I'm honored by that to have a.
That's amazing. Those tours were like that thing you do on the movie with Tom Hanks. That was like the traveling circus, man, of a
well,
bus full of rock
this was
stars.
in 1998, so this was pretty new, and we toured in a double-decker bus owned by the Rolling Stones had used. So it was pretty amazing, man. I can't tell you, rolling through the English countryside and coming into like Scotland, Edinburgh, and seeing a castle up on the mountain, and
Yeah.
it's fantasy life. I mean, it's just.
UK's amazing.
And now I'm going to let me come up to right now what I'm doing. One of the main projects that I'm really excited about is my partner in writing and producing right now is Artie Kornfeld. And if you're not familiar with the name, he's the creator of Woodstock, the concert, which Time magazine named the second greatest event in mankind. The first was landing on the moon. Second was Woodstock. 500,000 people in a peaceful gathering, which today that would definitely not happen.
Well, they tried it twice, and the second one didn't work out as well as it.
Well,
the
somebody
first one.
tried it. Yeah, that was like a.
It was a disaster.
No, you can't duplicate something that great. Not really. We talked about trying to do it. We have people in Bali that want us to go there and do another Woodstock, but it requires so much effort. And anyways, I've been writing with him, and we wrote some songs that are just absolutely incredible. We went into the probably number one studio in South Florida here and recorded 2 of the songs. And one's called Ghost Town, which is basically what we feel like the world's basically turning into in so many different aspects.
Too many burned out buildings.
Yeah, changing from gas-powered things to electric, and everything. The coal mines closing down, this and that, and it's just a lot of things in the COVID that we went through and all that stuff. I mean, it's just it's pretty pathetic. So, we're on the positive end of it, but we're hoping to get those songs out to the public because it's going to take and turn people's minds around musically. And I played all the instruments on it, and it came out absolutely phenomenal. I mean,
great. We'd love to hear it, Jamie, when you're ready.
Yeah. Well, next time I come back,
a place to bring it.
We'll bring it, absolutely. So that's the big project. And in fact, he's getting married tomorrow. He's 81, and I'm really excited about that because there's only a couple.
Way to go, Artie.
Only a couple people are going to be there, and I want him. And I love him. He's like my brother. He's the greatest icon in the music business. He was running Capitol Records. He was the vice president of Capitol Records when he was like 24 or something like that. And he quit that job when he would have been president to do Woodstock. He also did Mercury Records and can't think of the other ones. He took over Quincy Jones's place running Mercury. It was Mercury, but he had 3 different albums or labels that he worked for. He also is a prolific writer. He's had 75 songs in the top 50 or top 100 that he wrote. He did the Pied Piper, Dead Man's Curve. He's done everything. And he made Neil Young. He made Tracy Chapman, which that song just came back into the top again.
Yeah.
It was featured on the Grammys. He's the one that got her through. He said that was harder getting her to the top than Woodstock was.
Yeah.
So.
Well, again, songwriting. Songs are the thing.
And going
in the coming weeks, we're gonna start to talk about the actual mechanics of songwriting a little bit more and the discipline of it. It takes a lot. You just don't sit down and start writing hit songs. You got to observe. You got to watch. You got to listen. It's a whole mindset. And it's a lifetime. Well worthwhile.
It
lifetime.
is. And here's what I believe when it comes to music and being a songwriter. Since I'm a producer and a multi-instrumentalist, I hear everything. All the energy comes to me. I can arrange, I can devise all the parts the way they should be, and I know the tonal qualities, the timbre, and tempos that are really important, and I put that together. But the actual energy for a song, and really great artists will tell you the same thing. Paul McCartney will tell you this. It comes to you like a message. You're given the opportunity of that song. You're given the idea. It's not that you're sitting there and you're willing it out like you're sculpting a piece of, with clay. You think you are, but that it's actually given to you.
There's an inspiration involved.
Yeah,
that comes to you.
It's like a
and
gift.
And you need, through what you do in your life, as we started in the beginning with your it could be your diet, your just awareness that you allow it to come to you, and you're open to it.
And I think I've been given too much in my life. I'm an artist. I have a site on Facebook called King's Art International. You can see all my art on there. I've been in like 5 or 6 movies. I just did a new one called Bad Actress. I was in one with Johnny Depp called Rock in a Hard Place, Another Night at the Agora. And I was featured as a saxophonist in 2 of the biggest movies there is. One's called Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. And I was in Michael with John Travolta, William Hurt, Andy McDowell, Gene Stapleton. I played on both those soundtracks. And I've actually created complete soundtracks. One called The Spacey Brothers. I played everything. I did all the incidental sounds. It took me 9 months to finish that. So I did the whole soundtrack for the movie. And
yeah, man. And I'm wondering why we don't see you more often. That's because you're busy working at it.
Not only
as
that,
it takes.
but I have to make a lot of money because I love instruments. I have 200 guitars. I have 34 drum sets. I have about 40 keyboards.
I see this. I go, oh, where the? I'm going to myself. Where in God's name is he getting the money to buy all this stuff? He must be selling his soul to somebody. I don't know.
Every penny I made touring. I toured. I did Australia. I did all the UK, Germany, Greece, US,
that's
Canada.
a blessed career, man. That's a blessed career.
It is. And you know who I owe it to? I owe it all to God. I mean, everything comes back to the source.
Amen to that.
So anything I do, I try to give back. The other thing I wanted to say is I own a charity called Go the Extra Mile, and I've been working with the homeless for 30 years, and that's my real passion. Music is a vehicle, but that's my passion, is helping other people.
Yeah. Well, that's a big deal. I understand what it was, but I didn't want to bring it out unless you said it first. So.
Well, I just want to use an example to other people of, if you're given a gift, if you're given something that's great in your life, give back, especially to people that really need it. That's where it's at. Anything else, if you're doing it for yourself, that's a lost cause.
That's what we're doing here, folks. Yeah. We're trying to help.
Because it comes back to you. For all the good things that you do, it comes back. Not that I even want it back. I just want to be able to do it because I want to do it, And,
well, yeah. Well, that shows, and that. And that's the way it happens. It comes from it comes from the heart, man.
The heart, yeah. The heart's your telephone
musically
line to
and
heaven.
Spiritually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do the right thing. That's my bottom line. It
doesn't hurt.
I counsel a lot of drug addiction people that have gone through that. And I always tell them, live the dream, don't create the nightmare. Live the dream, and you can be what you want to be. You have the abilities to do that. And, here's a book on me, you know what I mean? It's like, it's pretty cool. It's...
King Colton book.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic, man.
And I've got probably brought stuff here. This is my latest
We're going to
CD.
hear your music. You're on Reverb Nation, I know.
I'm on Reverb Nation.
Sure. ReverbNation.com.
And also, if you want to see anything, www.kingcolton.com. And these are all available. This is my latest one, second to the latest, and this is an older one. But they're jazz, blues, rock. I play all different categories, and I play everything and write everything. So.
Wow.
It's a beautiful thing.
Wow, man.
Yep.
God bless, man.
And that's another talented
Keep
man,
going.
too.
Keep going.
This
Keep
man
going.
plays keyboards like, forget about it. He's amazing.
One of these days we're going to do something together.
Love to do
I would
that.
love that.
I would love it, too.
I would love that.
Let's do it.
Okay. We'll talk about
dueling
it.
pianos or do whatever.
We need to do more. We need to do more together.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the number, hey Josh, let me get Josh in here. We want to hear from you. Write the station, call the station. The number is 888-994-4995. Studio A right here at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. This is the Song Studio. call us. We want to hear what you think, what you're going through as a songwriter. What's your strong points? What's your weak points? What do you need help with? We'll find them. We have answers, man. All right? Are we good? Are we pretty good? Are we almost near signing off on that? Yeah. All right. Jamie for joining us. Hey, I want to thank you. Jamie, thanks again for coming by. A pleasure, my man.
Thank you, John.
All the best to you. Continued success. And we'll see you guys in the next show. Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.
Keep rocking.
Thank you for watching. To view more of my songs, visit johnnymel.bandcamp.com. If you would like to be on the show, contact me by email at johnnymel@comcast.net. We welcome all musicians and songwriters from all genres. Tune in next week for more music only on the Song Studio with me, Johnny Melnick.